Hey everyone, this is JC Nipper, and this webinar is about rural banking marketing. This webinar describes how rural community banks can advertise and compete with big banks. The need for this is great in rural areas where I personally am from, a small town in southwest Oklahoma, where community banks are slowly being replaced by big banks. The need for more customers and more personal relationships is very crucial to these banks. So here are a few ways rural and community banks can utilize marketing skills and tactics to compete with big banking. Obviously, first up we have social media. Social media is the greatest tool a marketer can utilize to spread information on multiple platforms. By improving social media pages and supplying information as often as possible while making your content look clean, cohesive, and professional, it's going to increase your click rate. Social media is the greatest tool marketers have other than personal connections. Having a good and large social media platform that looks professional and is still appealing to customers while also giving information is very important. Building a social media platform that represents your brand and creates brand alignment is essential to a rural bank and its community. Next up, we have blogs, and blogs are a really unique and fun way to spread information. You can really do whatever you want with your blog and format it to whatever you want it to look like. So I think a great way banks can use blogs are to create a blog to answer questions that customers have frequently, give weekly updates about the bank, and even put out a bank newsletter for the community. Up next is podcasts, and podcasts are so popular nowadays. People listen to podcasts on their drive to work, while they're working out, or even at work. So I think that banks should create podcasts interviewing different people in your bank, whether that be employees, branch presidents, tellers, whoever you want, just to let the customers get to know the employees and what their specific job is. Developing content marketing is crucial to having digital marketing. Creating a podcast where you do weekly topics of bank information, employee interviews, and maybe even interviewing customers on what they're curious about, it would be great to get all that information out. Next, we have classes and lectures. I think this would be great for maybe a local high school for your bank to go out and teach, money management skills to the outgoing seniors who are about to graduate. And this can just be great for young adults wanting to learn. So a few of these examples are financial planning for new parents, how to get the most out of your credit cards, and smart saving for home ownership. Seeing the amount of people who are eager to practice good money management skills and be smart with their money means young adults need to learn these things that don't really get explained to them until they have to go into a bank with no experience. If rural banks would go out into their community and their local high schools and taught maybe just a 30-minute class on money management skills and tips for things like starting up a loan or starting a savings account, so many more young people would be so much more confident in their decisions with their money choices. Next is services. And I know that, a lot of smaller banks can't provide the same services that big banks do. But by implementing products and services that larger banks have, that's going to make your customers want to stay with you. I know one problem I personally have is with my hometown bank. When I get my checks on Friday, I don't usually get off till 5. The bank is already closed. I can't drive home and deposit it. So I do have the option for mobile deposit, which I love, but the mobile deposit doesn't go through the system until the next business day, which is usually Monday. So I have to wait all weekend for my check to deposit, and it's just a hassle. So I think that if a lot of rural community banks would implement newer computer systems, that would be really great for their customers and utilize that. Next is relationships. And by creating personal and real long-lasting relationships, that's going to make the tradition of your bank, and that's going to make your bank really successful. And also focus on gaining relationships with Gen Z and millennials who often do virtual banking and never even step foot in a bank. One problem I came across talking to a bank president is that the younger generations don't even step foot into the banks if they don't have to. And that in turn means they have no personal connection with the people doing their banking. By creating personal relationships with the people in your bank, it can be very beneficial to Gen Z and millennials. This creates a form of trust and security instead of trusting big banks who you will never see the people behind the screen. Next is just supporting local causes that your community is passionate about. People love going out into the community, especially in rural areas, and helping each other out. Supporting local foundations and causes people in your community care about is a great way to not only create relationships, but also advertise your business. A study done by the Harvard Business Review claims customers are more likely to do business with companies that support similar causes and foundations they do. Conscious capitalism is even more important to younger generations and can help these rural banks connect with their younger target market. For example, my hometown bank always supported and held a fundraiser for the Toys for Tots program, which is a program that gives Christmas gifts to children in the adoption system. This was a huge event in my hometown that gathered the whole community to support this great cause. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope that you got all the information. And for more information, you can contact me at 580-471-0370.